Hey there, YouTube, it's Maze. So I made it. Level 30 over on Turtle WoW, and overall, this experience has been very positive. There are a few things that may be slight cons with the server, but overall, the pros heavily outweigh them. As I stated in the last video, I left Season of Mastery due to it not being what I was looking for. I wanted something that felt authentic and WoW-like, and that brought me to the private servers for the very first time. I didn't know anything about them, which ones I wanted to try, which ones were good. But after a few weeks of research and a shout out and thank you to the people over on Reddit, and then just jumping in and exploring on my own, I found exactly what I wanted. Between Turtle WoW and Vanilla Plus, for me, up until this point, Turtle WoW has been the most welcoming and enjoyable WoW experience I've had in years. I had the itch for a vanilla style gameplay, and I wanted to do it with a sense of adventure and curiosity. Vanilla Plus, I'm also going to do a short video on my journey up through level 30, and then from 30 to 60, just like I'm going to do with Turtle WoW. And all the praise to them. I am having a lot of fun over there as well, but currently right now, I am just a little bit more attached to Turtle WoW, so that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time, getting to level 60 and getting ready to raid. And I know that I'll never be able to go back to Azeroth being this amazing, massive, and unknown land, but the addition of new things, some small, some large, Turtle WoW has mixed the sense of leveling nostalgia and the desire to explore due to curiosity once again. The starting areas for both high elves and goblins are simple yet integrated very well. The addition of a few quests and a small quest chain using areas of the world that we remember and are already familiar with was a really neat and really simple way to bring those races into the game. And then from the very start, I felt that familiar sense of quests and combat of Vanilla WoW, and it felt good. I got all my quests done in Northshire Abbey, ran through those gates, taking in the first sight of Elwyn Forest, and I waited for that first note to hit, that music that let me know that I was in Elwyn Forest, I was Alliance, and ready to start yet another journey. And as I ran down the road, Goldshire slowly coming into view, my attention was drawn off to the right-hand side of the road with the addition of two new farmhouses. Simple, amazing. I didn't even realize the NPCs that were there, nor did I realize that they were going to have custom quests either. And make sure that you do these quests. You get a really good hood and a cloak. I mean, a hat at level 10 is fantastic. But yeah, I was just fascinated with seeing something new, and this is what gave me that little extra sense of curiosity and desire to explore, and really got me attached to Turtle WoW from the start. And as I leveled, I came across all sorts of new and neat little custom additions. Some as simple as the new NPC or vendor, quest givers, other large-scale things like the High Elf area accessible through the Mage Tower in Stormwind. All of the Lost reuses High Elf building models and makes a small settlement which is located just north of Stratholme on the world map. And to go along with this new town, there are also vendors, there are daily quests, a brand new faction, including a rep grind that will open up faction armor as well as their unique mount. Then into the southern hills of the wetlands, you can find the new settlement of Dun Agrath, and the adjoining Alliance stronghold, Hawk's Vigil. This area has several quests for you to pick up, featuring a short quest chain that will give you an additional quest to take into the stockades, and once you complete that, it's going to give you a pretty decent little neck piece. All of this has added so much to something I already love. Yes, the class changes and the patch is a little bit delayed, but that's okay. That gives me something else to look forward to. If Turtle WoW needs to take a little bit of extra time to make sure that these class changes balance and doesn't require them to try to go back and reattune old instances and allows them to keep their direction on making new content, then that's fantastic. And it has me all excited. So I want to take a quick peek back at the journey to level 30 on Turtle WoW and tell you my thoughts. And before we do that, you know what you need to do. That's right, hit and like that subscribe, because this is YouTube and I would love for you to do so. Imagine this channel hitting 1K sub. Come on, let's do it. That would be as good as getting Thunder Fury? Is it the Blessed Blade? So my time over on Turtle WoW has been a lot of fun, and the starter guild was extremely helpful when I first started. I think I was around level 20 when I finally found a new guild, Golden Moon. The guild has been great, except for the one dirty horde hunter that I had a brief little run in. Remember, Turtle WoW is cross-faction, so you can play with and guild with people from the opposing faction. The guild's house was in Ratchet, alright? So there's some level 60s in our guild running around the Barrens. I'm a warrior. I picked up a warrior quest at level 20 that required me getting some scales and some various other things. And one part of the quest requires me to go into RFK and kill the first boar, the pig inside of there. Super easy if you have a high level that runs in with you. Just takes a few minutes. So I asked. In which the first reply I get is from the dirty hunter messaging me and asking me what I need. When I told him, he said, okay. And then he asked what my highest level on the server was because he was really interested in starting a shaman. And he would really like, to get someone higher level to help him run through things. I let him know, man, I'm brand new to the server. This is my highest level character, which led him to replying, oh, okay. And then he just refused to respond to anything else I said. So it is what it is. But outside of this jerkwagon, everyone in the guild has been super cool, and yeah, they're really neat. And now it's just time to think back and remember this journey so far. Right away, you're introduced to a very active community here on Turtle WoW. Goldshire, Elwyn Forest, Stormwind is popping with people. Even in the off-peak hours, it's still pretty busy. There were tons of people out questing in Elwyn, and this is something that has remained true as I level. So I did what you do. I ran around Elwyn, I killed a bunch of Murlocs, a bunch of Gnolls. I did my level 10 warrior quest the best possible way. Since I didn't have a ranged weapon yet, it was a matter of charging in, killing off his guards, running back to my body, respawning, eating some bread, shooting back in there and killing him before everything respawned. Easy, easy peasy. Such good times. Then back to Goldshire to sit for a bit under the tent, get my rested experience up, and then it was off to the Westfall. The most exciting thing about this was knowing that I was about to get Old Blanchy's bag because inventory space really sucks early on in this game. Then more grinding, and again, a lot of people out quested. Around level 15 and 16, I started really farming some copper ore. So I took a little break from the questing. I ran back and started running loops around Elwyn Forest, gathering as much copper as I could, crafting as much as I could with my blacksmithing, vendoring things off, and then going back out and gathering more ore. Quickly catching up and getting my blacksmithing well on its way. I had a few times where there were a few too many people out farming ore, but overall I was able to gather at a pretty good rate. And it was about this time that I saw my first and really my only issue with the server, and it's kind of a pro and con at the same time. And this is the hardcore leveling community. I really like the idea of Iron Man leveling, and it's nice to see so many people so active in it. It's something that I probably am going to do as well. But it causes a divide in the leveling community, and it kind of sucks. And I understand that there's no other option, but the fact that you have all these people constantly leveling at these low levels and they cannot quest with, they can't trade with, and they're not allowed to affect the auction house economy or run any instances, it does kind of suck. And I know that there's no way to really allow them to use the auction house and not abuse it. So there's not really much, but that's just kind of something that I look at and I'm like, oh. As a tank, and even the 2 times that I queued as DPS, I haven't really had much of an issue at all. 2 times I queued during peak hours, which would be the UK, so around noon Eastern Standard Time over here in the US, and the queues came up super fast. There were other times that I queued at night, like between 11 and 1 a.m. US Eastern Standard Time. And again, didn't really have any problems. Even when I queued as DPS, we had one time when we sat around waiting for a healer, but I think we ended up waiting 30 minutes and we were all just running out chatting and just doing our quests. Now the first Dead Mines run, not the best, because I was so glad that we had a mage in our group who decided that it was his job to run ahead of the rest of the party and just pull things and then drop AoE on stuff. But once the Dead Mines was done, it was off to become the defender of Westfall. Hooray! It was about this time that I really decided to stick with the warrior. I have a mage and a hunter that I was planning on leveling. I was trying out the classes, seeing what I wanted to play. I've always loved Warrior. I especially love Warrior from Vanilla up through Wrath of the Lich King. So I decided it's time to get this Warrior going. It's time to make him a real man. So I head over to Ironforge. I got myself the Ironforge breastplate, and then I hopped over to the weapon trainer there, and then jumped the boat over to Darnassus to speak to the weapon trainer there. So I am now officially trained in almost all the weapons, but I did pick up the guns and bows. There was a couple things like the polearm and something else that I did not pick up because, well, I'm just a poor low-level warrior right now. And as if getting all this new training wasn't exciting enough, guess what's even more exciting? And that's getting this slow-ass level 20 turtle mount from the Dark Moon Fair. So at level 20, the quest opens up, but for some reason, the fair, when I was level 19, it was there in Elwyn Forest. And then when I went back, they were in the transition phase. And then suddenly it was back. Not sure what happened, but either way, I had to wait about 48 hours, but finally I was able to go ahead and start the quest. So I grabbed that, set sail, made my way over to Ashenville, and ran over to the Zoram Strand, which is located over by Black Fathom Depths. And I got my egg on the very first Naga kill. I really don't know what the drop rate is on this, but it dropped for me on the very first kill. I took my egg, I asked no questions, and I headed straight back to Elwyn Forest, turned in the quest, and had my own super slow level 20 mount. And I was told just after this that the turtle mount will scale as I progress in levels, but I'm not complaining because this is far better than walking. Then off to Red Ridge, more quests, more farming ore, more blacksmithing. I really am pushing to keep up with blacksmithing, cooking, and first aid as I level. Then a quick group up and clear of all the elite quests in Red Ridge. More riding around on my turtle, opening up flight paths so I can get up to the wetlands in Menethral Harbor. And then again, more farming ore, crafting the silver bronze set because I need it. And then, ding, Duskwood, level 30. And to celebrate hitting level 30, I went ahead, queued up as a tank for a Stockades run. It was a super smooth, fantastic run. These guys were awesome. 4 of us actually stayed in the group afterwards, and we ran around and did the long run around quest chain through Stormwind, which led us to the elites in the garden, and then we all got our super cool, rare quality ring. So yeah, Turtle WoW, it's been a lot of fun. It's been exactly what I'm looking for right now. Eventually I'll get back to the hunter or the mage, but my focus going forward is going to be getting the warrior, getting him up to level 60, getting him in the pre-raid gear, and then jumping in and doing some raids over here. I really have enjoyed this community, and I've seen a rise in the server population lately, and with that has also come a rise in leveling guilds. When I first got here, I was looking for a social leveling guild for me and my friends to join, and we just didn't have many options. Over the past week, I've seen a lot more pop up, and they have a healthy number of people in them as well, so that's encouraging. And yeah, that makes me feel really good about the server and the server's growth. So I encourage anyone that has been curious and they were just holding off, maybe some of you guys are holding off for the new talents to come out, or you've just been sitting around watching and waiting, just go ahead and jump in. All the changes that are coming in the patch for all the classes is already up on the website, so you can go through, you can see what's going to change, decide what you want to play, go ahead and roll your class, get out there, start farming some levels, start farming your professions, and just join the community. So I hope to see you guys in game. In fact, I think I actually will drop a short video looking over the new upcoming class changes. So make sure all of you, as always, take care, be safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.